Hi folks, and firstly you should never start with an apology, but a huge apology for missing yesterday's Facebook Live. Having Facebook Live in this time zone is midday for me in comparison to normal at 9 p.m. And my excuse is the day just was full of meetings, full of activity, full of planning sessions and strategy sessions and some coaching sessions. And I just had the experience, you know, when it gets to 4 p.m. and you go, lunch, that would be a good idea. I kind of had that experience, but at 10 o'clock last night when I was driving home after a 14-hour day. So sorry, so this is episode number 58 of Tetrakey TV, brought to you by me. I'm Rob Yates, I'm one of the founders of Tetrakey, and brought to you from Seattle, Washington, USA. Today's thought I want us to think about is when did you last look into your crystal ball? And quite probably this is one of the most important things that I'm going to share with you this year. You know, a crystal ball is something that you look into to predict the future. You look into to go and say what's happened. Thinking about the children's stories about crystal balls, you know, you kind of hocus and pocus and look into it and see what's going to happen. And for all of us, if we're not looking into the future, our future is out of our control. We don't have any options. And so that's what I want us to talk about today. We're going to start dropping the click like, click share thing, all those other things that we've been doing, because I've got a sneaky feeling they're detracting from the content a little bit. So we're just going to ask you to do what's right going forwards with these messages, and these Facebook Live sessions, and the rest of it I'm going to leave down to your integrity. So do what you please with it, but please do something with it. And the only other thing I will say is please go and engage with our second book. You'll find it on our Tetrakey newsfeed on Facebook, and on tetrakey.com on the website, and our Selling Success program. So let's have a little think about this crystal ball thing. So here's a question for you. If a crystal ball is something you look into to predict the future, you may well be thinking, well, how do I go about predicting the future? You know, I'm not telepathic. So I'd like you to do a little exercise. I'd like you to think about your day yesterday and your day before and possibly your day today. So we may well be talking about Wednesday, Thursday and Friday. If you carry on living those days as you have done, with the same thoughts, same pressures, same value on time, same actions, so on and so forth, how is your world going to look in 3 months' time? What differences will you notice from those actions that you've been taking? How will it look in 12 months' time, and how will it look in 5 years' time? If you keep giving the priority of thought and effort and action in the same order that you've been giving it. Now listen, at this point in time, you may well be going, well, what's he saying? Is he considering that maybe I should be spending less time with my family? The truth behind this is I'm not here to judge. I'm just here to ask questions. However, all of us put our time and effort into things that may serve us well in the short term, in the here and now, but are likely to detract from any form of 5 to 10 year end in mind. You know, for me, I'd like to sail around the world one day. I'd like to move house from South Africa to North America, probably Seattle. And there's a whole series of things I do on a daily basis that may well serve me for the next, if I do it today, it serves me for the next week or 2 weeks or maybe the next month. But if I keep doing that daily action, actually it will not enable me to reach the 5 and 10 year milestones that I'd like to reach. They often say that if you do 1 week of things that detract from your 5-year goal, that your 5-year goal becomes 5 years and 4 weeks away. So for every 1 week you do now, it has a 4-week implication over a 5-year period. So 1 week worth of rubbish now equates to postponing you achieving your goal by 4 weeks at a 5-year interval. And so go and ask yourself that. If I do, if I go and do 3 weeks worth of rubbish, of things that detract from achieving a 5-year goal, quite possibly that puts my 5-year goal now at 5 years and 3 months away. So for every 1 week of detraction, you postpone the achievement of your goal. So how is it you've spent your time? Go and look through your diary, and if you don't know what your diary looks like, go and guesstimate. What was the time on social media? Are you currently doing a job that is taking you away from your achievement at 5 years? Are you in your business and you're doing all of the fun tasks? I've been here this last week working in Seattle Adventure Sports, and it would be oh so easy to be in the beautiful Pacific Northwest and go and do what I really love doing, which is going canoe and kayaking. It would be so easy to do that, so easy to find customers who'd want me to coach them, so on and so forth, and yet all of those things are not what's important to driving this business forward. You see, yes, I'd have a great time. Yes, I'm really good at that stuff. Yes, the customers would benefit and have a great time as well. But by taking this week and putting it into the management end and marketing and strategic design of the business going forwards over the next year to 3 years, the actions that we're going to take, how does one action link into the other? How do we fill our funnels in terms of getting customers? This 1 week pretty much is setting us up to win for the entire summer. All the way through, I'm going to say, till the end of October, we've made some important strategic decisions about $50,000 worth of investments and buying what's likely to be a mobile climbing wall to go around events in the Pacific Northwest, both to raise money and have as a revenue stream, but also to have as a large marketing item at all of the events that are happening. We're stepping away from maybe as much purist canoeing, kayaking, climbing, mountain biking work and stepping further into the kids and corporate side of things. As a strategic thing, you see, now had I spent all week on the water, that would have put all of those things ages behind. In fact, my next time that I'm here is May, so arguably we may not have had those conversations and decisions made till May. So 1 week doing what I love doing, what I'm really good at doing now, would postpone these decisions and therefore these actions for at least another 2 months. So what is it that you've been doing? Go and consider those 3 actions and go and look at them. And probably if you look at the last 3 days that you've just had, and you were to look back over the last 3 months, you'll probably find that Wednesday, Thursday and Friday look remarkably similar going back in time. And certainly if you take a usage of time going back for the past 3 months, it looks remarkably similar. And so if you carry on doing that, where's that going to take you? Is it really going to allow you to achieve what you want to achieve? And I'm going to guess the answer to that question is no. If you were to crystal ball further into the future, what other things could you start to guess would happen? Could, by you taking not the best actions now, could a competitor come into the marketplace and take up all those clients that maybe are yours, but they're going to have them now because you haven't got to market fast enough? Are you going to lose energy and impetus? Or are you just going to put energy into something that isn't really that important for the long term? Is there going to be some form of global economic meltdown over the next 3, 6, 12 months? And the answer to that is the probability of that is almost 90%. So how are you getting your business going fast enough and quick enough now so that you have enough business when that happens? So on and so forth. You see, the future is quite easy to predict. The future is all based on history. And so if you look back over the past 20 years, you can see what history has offered us, offered all sorts of other people in your situation now, and you can start saying, well, what did they do, and how did that impact upon them, and what can I do differently? So I'd encourage all of you on a weekly and fortnightly basis to crystal ball into the future, taking your past week or 2 weeks worth of actions. What if I carry on doing these? Where are they going to lead me? What do I need to stop doing? What do I need to reduce doing? And therefore, what can I add in by doing that? It's of vital importance if you want to be successful. And here's the thing. The stopping and the reducing may well produce some form of short-term pain. For instance, I probably need to have this wrist broken in October or November this year to fix it. It's going to produce a short-term pain, but in the long term will produce a long-term gain going forwards for me. So what is it that you're willing to do for that short-term pain in order to have that longer-term gain, bearing in mind that every 1 week that you stop making the change now comes to adding 4 weeks to your 5-year goal. And just think, if you go and do 3 months or 12 weeks worth of putting those changes off now, that's a whole year. That takes your 5 years and put it at 6 years. Carry on for 6 months, suddenly you're at 7 years. And if you were to do the whole of this year not making those changes, you are going to be a long way further away from that goal, quite possibly taking 5 years to 10 years. So there's the thought for the day. I hope it's useful. In the comments below, please put down for me, once you've done these activities that I've suggested, please put in what changes you're going to make for next week and how that's going to impact positively for you. Have a great day further. I'm actually going to be back in 3 hours' time to try and get back on the original schedule. So I look forward to seeing you at 12 o'clock if you're on the Pacific coast of the Northwest, and 9 p.m. South African time, 7 p.m. UK time. And for all those wonderful Australians out there, you're probably just waking up or having breakfast. So have a great day further. I'll see you in a little while. Stay awesome.